Welcome everybody back to BeamNG.drive, and today we're going to be looking at the Gavril B series, which is a mod based on the Gavril T series. There are several different variants, but we're going to just be dealing with the one variant as we try this mod out against several objects. And yeah, like I said, it's got several variants, so I'll just quickly show you them off, because yeah, it's a decent variety to the vehicle. So you've got the B65 crawler 4-wheel drive, which is basically an off-road truck. We've got the B75 highway 6-wheel drive, which is the one we're dealing with, so that's basically something you regularly see on the open road. Then we've got a 6-wheel drive version of the B65. Then we've got a chained B75 like this one, but it's more meant for like snow and mud, I presume, or something like that, or off-road terrain. Then we've got a car hauler based on the B65, but with obviously the big sled bit at the back. Then we've got a B75 with that's like the highway, but with the big loader on the back there, with you put mining materials in and the like. And then we've got an oversized load version, so that's 8-wheel drive, so that's a lot of wheels on that. Then a military version of the 8-wheel drive version, again with a flatbed on the back, and then an 8-wheel drive version of the mining truck there as well. So yeah, those 8-wheel drive ones are formidable. They are hugely heavy and yeah, quite a beast to destroy. But let's see what a more normal version can do in this form of this highway version, which has a sleeper cab on it and everything. But yeah, let's see what it can do. We'll just switch to the vehicle so we can see what happens. See how it deals with this roll. Well, some of the bodywork has come off, but it's not actually physically rolled over yet. The mod itself isn't the most stable of mods, certainly not as stable as that Euro man truck that we tried out a while back, because as you can see a bit of the superficial bodywork is spiking already. But it doesn't crash the game or anything like that, so it's reasonable in that regard. But yeah, as you can see, it dealt with that okay, really, for a far roll of the truck. It didn't do a barrel roll or anything like that, it just skidded on its side. So yeah, in terms of dealing with that kind of crash, it's decent. So yeah, right, let's see what happens when we crash into a cinder block. If we can get to the right vehicle. Right, there we go. Not sure how quick we're going to be getting up to. I've given myself a decent amount of distance, but didn't want it to be too long, then it would be boring. We're north of 60, 70 mile an hour thereabouts. Oh, well, bodywork again has disintegrated just like it did on the rollover crash, or what was supposed to be a rollover crash. The radiator has also blown. Yeah, the bricks have somewhat jarred the mud flaps, but outside of that, yeah, dealt with that reasonably well. Though obviously with the radiator gone, this truck would not last too much longer on the open road. It would eventually overheat, which yeah, isn't something that you want. But overall, in terms of bodywork deformation, it's dealt with it okay. I don't think any of the bricks actually went into the cabin, which is always a good thing. But yeah, on the whole, decent. Didn't really struggle with that whatsoever. Let's try and find the next truck that we're going to be going in. I do apologise if the order of these got a little bit screwed up when dealing with it. Right, yeah, so we're going to be crashing into the shed, which has been done by Crash Hard. So let's see what a semi can do against a shed. Again, getting up to around 70 miles an hour. It's cleaved its way through the shed, but the roof has taken some big damage. It's actually gone through the air, which is impressive. Yeah, it's flown a fair old way there. That's a good 20-30 feet through the air. And I mean through the air in terms of length, not in terms of height, because obviously we weren't all that far up, but the fact that it flew as far as it did is really rather impressive. And yeah, even less damage than the cinder block, to be honest. I was expecting more. Granted, there has been more damage to the bodywork itself, where obviously a driver or passenger would be, which means it's a little bit more dangerous than the cinder blocks. But yeah, the radiator hasn't gone, and yeah, there's been no damage on the back. So yeah, it's a pretty tough mod, this, as you can see. But let's see what it can do against something that really isn't going to move, in the form of the the bollard. So let's see what it can do. Again, we should be getting up towards around 70 miles an hour. I've already seen what the bollard can do in several regards, so let's see what this can deal with in terms of it being fully upright. Oh! Well, the engine's dead, drive shaft's dead, the exhaust has been damaged, and a lot of the bodywork has wrapped itself around the bollard. In terms of the driver, though, it seems to be no, actually, yeah, the steering wheel has moved quite a fair old bit there. That would be against your chest, and yeah, your head would obviously impact it as well. So yeah, in terms of the bollard, it's not dealt with it all that well, to be honest. Right, now, like we saw with the bollard video, we saw that crashes were different depending on how high the bollard actually was. So let's respawn this and get to the bollard and see what this can do when it's a little bit lower. We saw the bollard cause some formidable crashes when it was slightly above the height that it would be at when it's fully retracted. So let's see how this does when met with that. Because it can change the crash scenario quite a fair old bit doing it like this. Don't think it's going to impact the bumper or anything, but it might hit the drive shaft. Nope. Yep. Oh, the rear drive shaft. So yeah, it would cause some severe damage in terms of the vehicle being able to actually drive. But in terms of passenger safety, well, yeah, unless you're going to oh dear, nearly rolled over there, which is lucky. But yeah, unless you're going to slide into something, then yeah, that is probably the safer option to hit a bollard at in terms of this vehicle. But we did see with other vehicles that that was not the case. So yeah, this got away with a lot there in terms of actual damage. Alright, let's see what we can do against a concrete retaining wall. Now this is a lot tougher than the cinder blocks because they are a lot heavier and they take a lot more to actually be moved. Oh yeah, virtually a dead stop there, which would not be good for the driver in terms of G-forces. Because yeah, he stopped from 70 to 0 in about, oh, I don't know, 5 to 10 feet. Which is not good whatsoever. The vehicle itself has dealt with it okay. Obviously it's got a lot of bodywork damage, the radiator has blown like it did with the cinder blocks, but yeah, the vehicle itself is okay. But yeah, in terms of the squishy human inside, yeah, that would not be survivable, I don't think, not whatsoever, especially with no airbags or seat belts. Right, now we're going to go up against a nuclear bomb, which I just think I flipped past the truck that we're going in. Yeah, right, it's this one. So this is basically mod versus mod. Not sure this is going to be the most stable thing to do, but well, there's only one way to find out. It's an insane nuclear bomb that we've already looked at before. Oh dear. There goes the bodywork, the engine's blown. It's lost a wheel as well. The cab has nearly been severed from the chassis. bonnet has also gone, and as you can see the bomb itself has done some spiky weirdness, which to be honest is rather common with these with those kind of violent mods. Are we going to actually roll over? I don't think so. I think the wheels are going to stabilise us. Oh no, we're not. Oh dear. To be honest, the cab has gotten away with most of the damage there. We lost a horn off the top, and obviously the side mirrors, but yeah, the bodywork there survived that remarkably well. Yeah, I am actually surprised, in all fairness. Right, now let's see what we can do against the T-Series that we're actually based on. So I'm just going to have to disable the other vehicles that have not been flipped over or badly damaged, because, yeah, we're going to be having the AI drive up against us. So, oopsie daisy. Yeah, this truck's not the easiest things to destroy, as you have already seen. Oops. Does take a fair old bit of punishment, to be honest. Just don't want them interfering with the tests that we're going to be doing. Right, so let's see what this can do against the T-Series, which this is based on. Now we are dealing with the fastest version of the T-Series outside of using nitro or anything, so we're not going to be going as quick as it, but there's not going to be a massive difference, I don't think. Yeah, this is definitely stronger than the T-Series. The T-Series is completely crumpled up. Granted, we have lost the engine in this and the radiator, but in terms of bodywork deformation, yeah, it's a lot better than the T-Series, which has only lost its drive shaft, but with the engine surviving, but it's also lost its radiator. Yeah. That's, yeah, resounding win for the B-Series there. Yeah, I'd rather be in the B-Series than the T-Series, to be honest, even though both also lack airbags, seatbelts and the like. Right, we're going to go and try out the this map here, the crash test hole, see what it can do against a against an impact that is typical of like Euro NCAP or the equivalent in America. So let's get in the same version that we were in on the grid map, and let's see what it can do if it loads, which I hope it will. There we go. I think we're just short enough of the roof, yeah, luckily. So this is an offside crash test. This is like it's meeting a car or another truck. Come in the opposite direction, and yeah, oh. Well, again, the body deformation isn't all that bad, but it stopped in no time at all. From 50, 60 mile an hour, whatever it was, with no airbag and no seatbelt, which yeah means that the driver would continue going at that speed until he hits anything solid, which would immediately be the steering wheel and then maybe the windscreen and dashboard. But yeah, it's dealt with that okay, I think. Obviously, in terms of driver survivability, it's not very well, but considering the crash forces there, that could have been a lot worse. So let's see what a T-Series does in comparison, just to have a look. We'll just get in the long haul special, so it's got the same number of wheels as the B-Series that we just tried. Don't think we'll be going as quick in this though. Still going north of 50. remarkably similar, given that I don't think this was going anywhere near as quick. This has lost its drive shaft as well as its engine, which just shows there was a lot more forces going through the vehicle. Maybe due to extra weight, or just the fact that the T-Series on the whole is rather weaker. But yeah, on the whole, that B-Series mod is a really good mod. I highly recommend trying it out if you haven't already, because yeah, it's mostly stable, not quite as stable as the MAN Euro truck that we tried out a while back in form of this, but on the whole, yeah, it's a really rather decent mod, and it's got a nice few variants on it, and yeah, it does reasonably well in terms of crashes and the like. We're actually going to go one more. I'm going to go on the car jump arena just to see what it can do in something that's more of a ridiculous crash than, you know, the normal ones that we've just done. I say normal, obviously it's not massively normal to hit a concrete retaining wall or reside on a ramp or hit an insane nuclear bomb, but yeah, this is a proper way of seeing just how stable a mod really can be, because some do not like dealing with this kind of thing whatsoever. Because there have been mods on this game that I've wished to try out but just haven't been able to. We'll stick with this one, I think, just so we're a little bit more consistent across the video itself. So yeah, no doubt the engine's going to blow before we even get off the end of the ramp, just because I doubt this can do much more than 100 miles an hour. Oh, it can, but we're still going to blow the engine. There's 130, 140. Didn't blow the engine actually, but it has been damaged. Other wheels have just about survived, though this wheel looks like it's on the verge of breaking off with all that camber going on. Where are we gonna crash? Oh dear. Imminent death. Oh, ooh, dearie me. Well, that's shrunk in half. Cab's gone. Fuel tanks have exploded. The entire front of the vehicle has crumpled away, with only the rear wheels being reminiscent of what a truck used to be. But as you can see, despite some of the additions on the truck, like the horn and the mirrors and whatever that have been spiking before, on the whole the mod is stable. If we can deal with this and not have, you know, a massive black spike going through the air or anything like that, like the insane nuclear bomb did, then yeah, on the whole this is a really rather stable mod. So yeah, try it out if you haven't already, because it's a really fun vehicle to crash, which pretty much is the whole point of this game. And yeah, you can get some really rather terrifyingly realistic sculptures like this. It's spiking now. I think that's some of the bodywork doing it, but on the whole it's a really stable mod, and it's a well detailed one as well, and it's fun to drive and crash. So yeah, like I said, get out there if you haven't tried it already, and yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.